Yeah.
I'm gonna just wait a few minutes for a couple more people to hop on. Hi, Shakita. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine.
It's
How are you?
cold over here in LA. I'm tired of it.
Oh, so what's the temperature?
Like, shoot, like 67.
It's not that cold.
But it is. Let me actually check right now. Yes, it is 65 degrees. You see that?
Yeah, it's chilly.
Yeah. And it's been like this for the last like 2 weeks. It's like, come on now. We're supposed to be in summer. Isn't this usually summertime?
Yeah.
Mm. How's the weather out there? The sunny?
Yeah, it's like 78,
Oh, must
80.
be nice.
Yeah. But it was cold here last week, like in the
Um,
50s. I don't know what's going on.
right, something's going on.
Yeah.
Hey, Stephanie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad.
Good. Okay, so like I said, we're gonna pick off basically what we were supposed to do yesterday, just a Q&A. But I also did want to go over some charts because earlier I was talking to Rafia on the side. She might pop up on the call later. I'm not sure. Depends. But we was both just talking about gold and how gold has been moving lately. And let me share my screen. So can you guys see this? Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so looking at gold like from the smaller time frame, you can see we've basically been needing to have a lot of patience because it's just been a lot of a little sideways movements for a few days going on before moves have been made. And she was saying for her, I wish she was on here so she can like speak her actual words, but she was just saying how it wasn't moving exactly how she expected it to, because we got a lot going on in the world, just the wars, interest rates, stuff in the Congress, like it's just a lot of things that are going on. And sometimes that can happen, even not just with gold, but even with pairs. And I was telling her too, when that happens, like it's okay to also look at another pair, whether it's like UJ, EU, GJ, Swiss, whichever, like that's perfectly fine. Because sometimes for a whole week or two, there might not be a move that you see on a pair. So has anybody else been feeling that way?
Yeah, I felt the same way about gold actually. Like it just wasn't what I thought it was gonna do. It's not what it's doing, but then it's not even really doing anything else. It's kind of confusing. Like I don't trust the break and retest right now because sometimes they're just going a completely different direction. And then it goes back to what it was doing before. So it's kind of like, as you say, it's just little pockets of moving sideways. And you kind of feel like it's a fake out and you don't know when it's real from when it's not real.
Right. Yeah. I've been definitely noticing that with gold as well. What I started doing too is really focusing too on the higher time frame. Because usually I'll get in like on a 30-minute or 15-minute, but some stuff has not been sticking how it usually does. And when I was looking at gold right now, I'm gonna draw it out. This structure right here had hit TP2, and we're also at this daily trend line that I had drew from the past. This is the weekly. So I have this 1 point right here, 2 points right here, and then drew it to the future. So before this had happened right here, I already had this trend line right here. So now if I have a fib like here, we can see we hit 38.2, and then we just finished off at TP1, and now we're going down. But I want to see right now if we're going to continue to respect this daily trend line or not. And anytime we're at like a daily or a weekly, is that noise bothering y'all? Somebody outside. Can y'all hear that? I don't feel like getting up.
No.
Okay, good. So right now we're at this daily trend line right here, just like how we were right here. And when we're at those daily trend line, weekly trend lines, it's gonna sit there for a while. So I want to highlight this to see how this looks on the lower time frame. So yeah, I came here, sat for a little bit. Let's see. For about a day. So now where we're at in the market, we're back in this area right here at this daily trend line. What I want to see though is this was the last low. Let me go to the 1 hour. This was the last major low right here. Then we have a minor low right here. And I put a trend line right here, this purple trend line, and I put it to alert me once per minute. Because what I want to see is we have divergence right here. So I want to see if price pulls back. This is the divergence. I want to see when price pulls back, if it's going to continue to retest this daily trend line and respect these lows right here. So it looks something like that. Or if it breaks through here, I want to just see what it does to this at this trend line, because even if it retests, I'll go on a smaller time frame, look for divergence as well, to look for buys. But then I have this trend line right here underneath these lows, because what I don't want to happen is I don't want price to start breaking these lows, because I don't really see it coming to this green trend line right here. because this was holding price down. This whole trend line. Y'all see that? How this whole trend line was holding price down?
Yeah.
And we just retested that right here. We had a break and a retest right here of that trend line. So I don't really see price pushing past back to that point because there's nothing to retest right there. But you know, you just never know. But right now I have this line under these lows right here, and I set my alert to alert me once per minute because I want to see if price does end up breaking past those lows, then I want to see like what it does from there. If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
And also we
But
are
all
making,
in all, oh, sorry.
huh? Go ahead.
No, I was saying, but all in all, you're thinking that it's gonna buy in the grand scheme of things, right?
Yeah, because then on the 4-hour, we had all this divergence right here.
Okay, gotcha.
You know, that's the higher time frame. You guys see that this is going down, but this is going up. And this trend line was holding up that higher time frame point, and we hit 61.8. So that's, I already had it noted right here. On the 4-hour time frame, there was divergence plus TP2 hit, and then the third confirmation that just happened was that break and retest that I just showed you on that 1 hour.
Okay, I get you.
Does that make sense to everybody? Shakita, hey CC.
Hello.
Did you just hop on, or you been on for a minute?
I just hopped on.
Oh, okay. Shakita, you there?
Yeah, I'm driving home from work, so I can't really watch. I'm just listening.
Okay, I recorded it though. I'm recording.
Okay, perfect.
So yeah, so those were 3 confirmations that I had saw that showed me that we were going in that uptrend. But like I said, since like those lower time frames were tricky, I was really depending on that higher time frame trend line. And I told you guys in the past, like sometimes, you know, it can get confusing to get lost on the smaller time frame. So if you have to, unfortunately, you do have to wait longer. Focus like on like the 1 hour and the 4 hour, and just waiting for that major trend line to get broken and retested. But also based off that too, there's this blue zone right here that I have. You see right here, it was resistance that broke right here, came back as support. We had all this support right there, broke through, haven't fully came back to retest this area right here. So if price continues to go up, I can put a little alert 2 on this trend line right here, because these are 2 points right here. 1, 2. Even if it breaks past a little bit, as long as it does not break those previous lows, like I said, I will still count that as buys. And once it comes back down and we see a retest, I will also look for divergence as well for a confirmation on the 30-minute, maybe the 15-minute. It just depends on how it'll look. And then if that happens, that'll basically be retesting 38.2, and it'll be retesting this 1 hour zone right here. You see, we have all these areas of support, broke, retest, and now we're coming back and retesting it as support again, and we're also making higher highs. So this was the previous high right there, and now we're making new highs. That makes sense? That makes sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So yeah, so if we do get that retest, this is the highest probability. Of course, you have to take into account if the opposite does happen. But I'm still looking for the buys. And then also too, I have this other trend line. This 4-hour trend line. Oops. This blue trend line right here. Let me delete all these damn arrows. I'd be showing stuff and be forgetting that I got all them arrows, and then I zoom out and I'm like, oh Lord. Okay, so this trend line right here, you guys can see it got retested multiple times throughout this point, and we broke through it right here. Right there. But it never got retested. So I just want to see what it does. So far, I just have it coming to this blue zone right here. And as we continue to break highs, that's going to continue showing you too that we're still staying in that uptrend. So even if we can't look too far, but I'm still going to point it out, even if we do come to this blue and it retests, but it's still making higher lows, like it still stays above this daily trend line, that's still going to be showing us buys until lows start to get broken. But we ain't talking about that right now, but I still wanted to point that out. So yeah, so I want to see how this pullback does, because this structure right here just finished playing out. After that break and that retest, that's when you would place your fib on that high right here on that 30-minute. Right there, and you see it hit 23.6. So it's point A, point B, 23.6, and then it came up to TP1. You guys see that? So
Yeah,
that was that structure that finished out. So now if I said if it pulls back, continues to respect these lows right here, so it does not break past it, then what you can do is you can drag it, take it to the next one, because we're on a 30-minute time frame. Take it to that next high right here. Wait for a retest. Look for, once it retests, look for divergence as well. So you'll go on the smaller time frame, pull up the divergence, see how it looks after that retest. If you see there's divergence on either the 30-minute or 15-minute, then you can be looking for a continuation to TP1. And if this does play out too, and it retests right here, that's 38.2. 38.2 means it's gonna just skyrocket, and that'll be 250 pips. Now, if the opposite happens, and let's just say price just breaks the lows, what I want to see is what price is going to do at this green trend line right here. This green trend line, I'll just drag it down some more, because I still wouldn't consider it going into a downtrend until it breaks this major low right here. Because sometimes it can go up, come back, do something like that. But I'm not considering a downtrend until it does something like this, just breaking this low right here. Does that make sense?
Yes. So you're saying with gold, since it's doing weird stuff right now, this is a bigger move we should focus on?
Yeah, depending on like the type of person you are, that's just saying how I've been looking at it.
Okay.
I've been looking more at like the 1 hour. So, but this is my highest probability right here is, because like I said, we have this divergence right here. We already broke and retested this one trend line right here. We're sitting at this daily trend line, which means price can be here for a minute, but it can still make higher lows. So we can still be seeing something like this. But if it comes down to this point, retesting 38.2, I'm going to be looking for a straight shot up to TP1. So looking for something like that. That makes sense? I know I keep saying that makes sense, but I really want to know if it makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Okay. All right. So, and honestly, that's for gold. For GU, I was looking at GU. GU is basically the same type of situation. So, literally right here, I put 4-hour time frame TP2 hit. There was divergence, looking for buys. It was literally the same exact thing gold had going on. So I have this, and then on that smaller time frame, there's a lot of arrows, but I was just trying to see what price was going to do in this triangle formation. As you can see right here, after it broke through right here, I thought we were probably going to come back and retest it and continue for sales like that. But clearly that didn't happen. It just continued to push up. But then we got a new high made, showing that we are changing direction because it broke this previous high right here. And so drawing this trend line right here, 1 point, 2 point, drawn to the future, we had a break, and then we had a retest right here. So this is a I didn't get in this, but this is like currently in motion. This is the whole structure that I'm looking at, right? Oh, it's already drawn out. Right here. So what I'm waiting for now is another pullback to happen to continue with buys. Because now looking where price is right now, we are at a foundation level. Let me hide that. So we have a lot of wick exhaustion pushing up in this area on the daily. Let me see how. The 4-hour, same thing. We have this wick pushing past, but I want to get another pullback because right now we just had this straight shot up. And like I said, if it continues with those buys, as long as we continue to respect not breaking these lows at the bottom, I'll continue looking for buys, but I'll never get in without getting a pullback. So going to the 30-minute, let's see if there's not really no divergence yet. I mean, it looks like it's a little bit forming right there. Yeah. So yeah, so I want to see this, see if it respects this foundation level. get a pullback. If we get a pullback and then retest this trend line, then definitely we'll look to take it up. So you can have two options. You can either well, you can do both ways. So you can get in one trade and just hold it till TP1 or TP2. Or you can get in once it pulls back. What you can do is draw a baby fib. So if it pulls back, then you'll draw a fib from this low right here to the high, and then take it up to TP1 or TP2. Because it's just structure inside of structure. So you can get between 68 pips to 125 pips. As long as these lows aren't broken, we're still doing that uptrend. That makes sense?
Yeah,
Do you guys have any questions on what I broke down? And then also too, like I said here, looking left, like why I'm also looking for buy, especially on that higher time frame, is because like I said, on the higher time frame looking left, we hit TP2 and we had divergence. And we started breaking highs. So those are three things showing me like we're continuing this overall trend. I really see it coming up here to 1.25270. Do you guys have any questions on what I just said? Or any questions in general, period?
the questions I had you answered, so no, I'm okay.
Oh, look at that. Let's see, what else did I want to point out?
So you don't ever enter the market unless you have divergence, break and retest.
Yeah, that's what I like to look for. Always. Because
Okay.
even if there is divergence, I still wait. Like, even like when all this was happening, so I drew these lines probably when price was like somewhere right here in this area. And I didn't know like if price was going to break up or break down. So that's why I sometimes like put arrows to kind of like guide me on my thought process on what I'm looking for. As you can see, even when we broke through this green trend line right here, like there was no retest. So I didn't enter it. Like, yeah, we broke it, but that's not giving me other confirmations because I did see divergence, but I didn't have that retest. And then once I saw this point, I'm like, okay, I just drew another trend line right there. And then that's when I saw we had broke it, and then we came back to retest it as well. And then this bottom trend line was at these points right here, 1, 2, 3, drawn to the future. And as you can see, like it does look a little like raggedy on the trend line, but at the same time, like you can wait for a few more candles to form before you start hopping in. But at the same time, once you see like 3 candles have been made, that's kind of giving you like your point, because you know each point looks like a triangle. Like that's one point right there. You see how everything kind of looks like a little triangle. So once you wait a few candles and you start seeing that triangle form, now you're like, okay, well, this low is still higher than this low right here. So it's still going higher. And then, like I said, what I like to do is I'll just put a line when I enter just to alert me once per minute if price happens to break past or come near that previous low. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Shakita, did that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Does anybody else have any questions? I really hate this weather. It just got me feeling so just blah. I'm such a summer baby. I like the sun. I like to just be doing stuff. I'm a huge I guess I would say I'm an extrovert, but it's funny because at the same time I'm like a homebody, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But what's the weather like now? What do you mean? Is it cold?
Yes, it's freezing. Well, I don't know. In my house it's freezing. I was telling my boyfriend, like, is the AC on? Because it feels like it's so cold. But out here it's 65 degrees and it's cloudy.
In May? That's crazy.
That's what I said. It's supposed to be sunshine, and it says it's gonna be like this for the next 2 weeks. So
That's a long time. 2 weeks is a long time.
I know I'm ready to show skin, and I can't show no skin right now. So yeah, hopefully June gets it together because this ain't it. But yeah, so basically that's what it is for GU gold. GU waiting for that pullback. Want to see what it's gonna do at these trend lines right here. Gold, same thing. Just want to see that pullback and see what happens from there. Let's see, is there any news coming out for the US dollar? Okay, we have non-farm payroll, unemployment. So this was before 296, 229. Unemployment is expected to be on a rise from before. So if it's higher, that'll be bad for the US dollar if it's higher, if you have more unemployment. So if unemployment comes out higher, then that's going to make GU and most likely gold go up, news-wise. That makes sense?
Yes.
Okay, Friday. Unemployment rates, they're basically like this, the average hourly earnings, basically the same concept. So yeah. Well, wait, let me see the forecast. So previously 253, expected to come out less, unemployment rate expected to go up. Yeah, so even if this is higher too, that'll still be bad. Yeah, I can still see news lining up with technicals with everything going up. But always be prepared for the opposite to happen. But that's just what I see most likely happening is everything against the dollar going up. Let me see. Here, see, I don't really have this fully marked up. This is in the beginning. Dang, I haven't did USDJPY until when I first started. Move this out the way. I haven't marked this up. I'm just kind of just going off a little naked eye right now. So this is a weekly. It hit 50. TP1. So of course it was expected to hit TP1. So that finished out daily. High, high. Looks like we're breaking it right now. We're in that little uptrend there. Four-hour divergence. That hit. Yeah, I can see it pushing down some more right here to TP1. Close to this zone right here that was previously broken. That hit TP2. Yeah, I can see the dollar. Dang, it's just been going up. This got divergence too, right there. Yeah, so I see the dollar going up, everything else going down. The dollar is pretty much in line with it. UJ is lining up with a downtrend, continuing a downtrend. So yeah, I see these other ones going up. Well, like GU and gold, anything that's going against the US dollar. That makes sense. Well, I wasn't even really explaining it. I was kind of just showing y'all me just briefly looking at these.
Yeah, that was a good quick breakdown.
Okay, cool. Even right here, this is a little, this orange one is just a big one that I saw, but this will be a key area too. So if price even continues to go down, of course, when another low is made, you can make another trend line. Right now, there's no another low made for me to make a trend line too. There was already like a break and retest right here in this area, so you'll just have to wait for another low to be made. But based off this zone right here, even breaking this zone off the 1 hour, even if we come down, retest it, if we keep breaking it, retest this zone again, we'll continue for sales for UJ. So yeah, good. I'm glad that made sense. Let me not over talk, because sometimes I can over talk. Does anybody else have any questions? I recorded this too. This is a good call. I'm gonna upload it right now on YouTube and then put the link in it. Link in the Discord.
Okay.
right.
Could you also send your charts too?
Huh?
Could you also send your charts, the charts that you mark up?
Yeah, I'll send them. Well, you can see I just did UJ off the top of my head, but I'll send gold and GU.
All right, thank you.
All right. Well, you guys have a good rest of your evening, and we'll see each other next week.
Okay, see you later. Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.